What is the difference between a dream and a blueprint? A dream exists only in the mind, a fragile whisper of what could be. But a blueprint is a promise of form, of function, of reality. It's the first step to turning nothing into something. Our story is about a man who lost the ability to build in the real world, only to discover how to build entire new worlds from digital dust. This is Alex Vance, or at least this was Alex Vance, a rising star in the world of architecture, a man who spoke the language of concrete, steel, and glass. His designs weren't just buildings, they were monuments to ambition. From his corner office overlooking a city he helped shape, the future seemed as solid and soaring as his skyscrapers. He wasn't just building structures, he was building a legacy. But legacies are fragile. The global economy, a force more powerful than any earthquake, began to tremble. And one Tuesday morning, the promise of a lifetime of work was broken by a single cold email. Restructuring, downsizing. The words were corporate and clean, but the meaning was dirty and simple. He was out. The blueprints on his desk became relics of a future that would never happen. The fall was fast and brutal. The corner office was replaced by a cramped apartment. The city skyline replaced by a brick wall. The praise of clients was replaced by the deafening silence of unemployment. To survive, Alex turned to the only skill he had left. He began creating 3D models of his architectural designs and selling them online. Not for millions, but for dollars, sometimes cents. Each sale was a quiet humiliation, a digital echo of a grander dream. His family saw a man defeated, trading a hard hat for a headset. His former colleagues, when they bothered to call, spoke with a tone of pity. "A digital modeler?" one of them scoffed over the phone. "So you're designing doll houses now, Alex?" He was no longer an architect. He was a ghost in the machine, haunting the digital marketplaces, selling pieces of his soul for spare change. But they were all wrong. They saw an ending. In reality, this was the beginning.
Days bled into nights, fueled by cheap coffee and fading hope. The elegant curve of a bridge was replaced by the rigid polygons of a 3D mesh. The symphony of a construction site was gone, leaving only the lonely click-clack of his keyboard. He wasn't creating anymore, he was tracing. He was churning out digital bricks one by one, building a prison of mediocrity around himself.
The rent was late, again. Staring at his earnings dashboard, a pathetic collection of single-digit numbers, Alex felt a familiar wave of despair. But then he noticed something, a pattern in the usernames of his repeat customers. Pixel Forge Studios, Neon Dream Games, Quantum Leap VR. These weren't architects. Who were they? For the first time in months, it wasn't a question of despair, but of genuine curiosity. A few clicks led him down a rabbit hole. He discovered a universe he never knew existed. A booming digital frontier where developers were building entire worlds for games and virtual reality. They were starved for high-quality assets, buildings, furniture, cityscapes. They were buying his models not for their architectural integrity, but as raw materials, as digital clay. Alex wasn't selling doll houses, he was selling the components for new realities, and the market was colossal. A spark of his old ambition ignited. He spent a week meticulously converting one of his proudest skyscraper designs into a gleaming sci-fi tower fit for a futuristic game. He sent it to a top-tier game studio, a speculative pitch. The reply came in less than an hour. Technically impressive, but it has no soul. You're an architect trying to speak the language of a dreamer. It doesn't work. The rejection wasn't just professional, it was personal. It doesn't work. Those 3 words echoed in his mind. He sat in the dark, the glow of the monitor illuminating stacks of final demand notices. He was done, defeated. He was about to close his laptop for good, give up, and look for any menial job that would pay the bills. But as his cursor hovered over the shutdown button, he looked at his screen, at the dozens of individual models he had listed for sale, a digital graveyard of his past life. And then the blueprint clicked into place. The problem wasn't his models, the problem was the method. Why was he selling one building at a time? Why were these developers forced to hunt for assets across a dozen different marketplaces? Architects don't buy one brick at a time. They are given access to a whole library of materials. In that moment, he saw it. Not another 3D model, but a system, a platform. He didn't just need to speak the language of a dreamer. He needed to build the library for all the dreamers. An idea so audacious it bordered on insanity began to form. He wouldn't sell models, he would sell access. A single subscription for an infinite library of the world's best architectural assets. A digital warehouse where creators could find everything from a single doorknob to an entire city block ready to be dropped into their virtual worlds. With a strong, dynamic, masculine baritone, Alex started coding. He sold his car for server space. He called every talented 3D artist he could find, not offering a salary, but a piece of the vision. He begged them to contribute to his library. Most of them hung up, but a few, the ones who were also tired of selling their art for pennies, said yes. He called his creation Archiverse. It was a ridiculous, grandiose name for a project that existed on a single sputtering server in his bedroom. It was his final, desperate bet. The launch of Archiverse was met with silence. For a week, the user count was stuck at 5, Alex and the few artists who had believed in him. The money was gone. The doubt was creeping back in, colder than ever. But then, a young, unknown indie game developer working on a shoestring budget signed up. On a popular forum, he wrote a single post. "Archiverse is a cheat code for creativity. I built my entire game world in a weekend." That post was the spark. The next day, there were 100 signups. The day after, 1,000. Developers, filmmakers, and creators from all over the world flocked to the platform. They finally had the tools to build the worlds that existed only in their imaginations. Archiverse wasn't just a library of assets, it was an engine of creation. The platform democratized digital world building. 5 years later, Alex Vance stands not in a corner office, but on a stage addressing thousands of creators at the annual Archiverse conference. His company is now valued in the billions. It's the silent infrastructure behind the biggest games, the most immersive VR experiences, and the burgeoning metaverse. He didn't just find a new career, he built a new industry on the ruins of his old one. The man who once sold digital bricks for pennies now provides the foundational blueprints for countless digital universes. He learned that a blueprint isn't just a plan for a building of steel and glass. It's a map from where you are to where you want to be. And sometimes, the most magnificent structures aren't built in the real world. They're built from the dreams, the failures, and the digital dust of a life reimagined.